Okay, what is going on, guys? I don't want to do too much rambling here. I want to try and keep this video short. But you should be coming from Lone Star Lake, catching spotted bass. And you had quite a few options for lakes to go to. Mudwater, Rocky Lake. You could go to the Neherrin. But where you want to go is Emerald Lake for the walleye. Walleye are going to pay you a lot of money and a very decent amount of XP. So as for the rod setup, I've got a Featherlight 6.3 here, with an Aspera Slim 2500 reel, and I'm using 6-pound mono, and I've got a gold narrow spoon. Now the reason I'm using these narrow spoons is I find they work the best. I've got multiple different colors here, and I'm going to explain to you why that is. So purple narrow spoons, walleye tend to bite on a lot when it's raining. Now you're going to be doing a lot of night fishing on Emerald Lake to save yourself time, as well as not spending any bait coins to skip time. And black is going to be for the night when it's not raining. You got your silver for your cloudy days, and you got your gold for your sunny days. I'll go ahead and show you guys where these rods are at. So the Featherlight 6.3 right here, it's unlocked at level 7. And as for the reel, it's unlocked at level 10, 2500. And line, I believe, yeah, level 10 again. You need that 6-pound line at level 10. What I would really recommend, guys, is that you have at least this level 8 keep net. Now it's going to hold 26 pounds. You're going to be able to hold most of the trophy walleyes that you catch. The only downside is your net's going to fill up quick, but that's okay as long as you stay for multiple days. Now this is just a low-level setup. I'll get into the higher level setup on Emerald Lake once you've been fishing it for a while, but first I'm going to show you how you can get started on Emerald Lake as a level 10. Alright, so I'm on Emerald Lake. Now, I like to fish off of the dock. The right spot, Midland Charm, it works okay. You can still catch fish from here. I just prefer the dock. I'll go ahead and show you guys where you can cast and where I prefer casting that I think produces the most fish when it comes to using these narrow spoons. Alright, so as for the casting spot, you're going to see this big, the tallest tree in this direction off the dock. Now, you don't cast at the tree, you want to cast either to the left or the right. Now, either one works. And with the narrow spoons, I've got a cloudy day here, I'm just going to use the gold spoon. And you're just going to let it sink to the bottom, and you're going to do a straight, slow reeling technique. I'll go ahead and show you guys me catching a fish on camera, and then I'll go ahead and fish for a little while and show you the progress I've made in the amount of time that I've been fishing. So once again, just doing the straight slow reel speed. I believe I've got a double peak, so the fish aren't biting the best right now. I should be able to hook one anyways. Another nice tip for you guys when you're catching these walleye, you'll occasionally hook into redfin pickerel, chain pickerel, northern pike, and sometimes perch as well. And if you're ever reeling in a fish and you're kind of wondering what you got on the end of your line, walleyes don't jump out of the water, they stay deep. And if they're jumping while you're reeling them in, there's a good chance it's not a walleye. Now you will get oddballs very rarely here and there where you'll see your walleye jumping as you're reeling it in. Chances are that was really close to the dock, or you happen to have heavier line than 6 pound and you're ripping them out of the water. But I know it's a walleye when I'm reeling it in, and it stays deep down, and I don't get to see the fish until it's pretty much right at the dock. There we go, I had a bite. I had really no time to react to that. Probably wouldn't have hooked him anyways. And there we go. That's a fish. Now he hasn't jumped, but he is moving kind of quick. So I don't think this is a walleye, but it still could be. Could be a bigger walleye. Alright, I'm assuming this is a walleye. Yep. Okay, so right off the bat we got about a 3.5 pound walleye, 430 bucks and 150 XP. It's really good if you're low level here, around level 10. You're gonna be leveling up very quickly. And I'm going to fish here for a little bit. I'll fish for about 8 minutes or so. I'll show you guys what I come back with. Okay, so just as a quick update, I'm going ahead and I'm switching to the silver spoon because I'm on a cloudy day. For some reason I didn't realize that. And I'm also going to be skipping to the peak. I'm pretty much there, but I'll go ahead and I'll skip to about 6 o'clock. And now I'll start fishing for about 8-10 minutes or so. Okay guys, so I've been fishing for roughly 10-11 minutes or so. I've just been casting out the silver spoon during the day. I've already made around 1,000 bucks. So I've caught these 3 fish in about those 10 minutes. You know, that's about a fish every 3 minutes or so, which isn't the best. That's about every 2 casts I'd catch a fish. We also got to remember that walleye don't bite the best early morning or in the day in general. Walleyes mainly bite at night, but it's still a good bite in the early morning, like dawn. So that's it for this first lure setup. Now, if you were to fish at night, you'd probably catch a little bit more fish than I am. Maybe about 5 fish in 10 minutes, you know, maybe something like that. But I'm going to move on to the higher level setup, where you would have enough money to buy a rod stand and hopefully 1 bottom rod or so, and eventually work your way up to 2 rods in a rod stand and casting a lure. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Now I don't believe I have the rods I used from Emerald Lake. I'm going to have to purchase these items, but that's fine. Alright. So now let's say you're around level 15, 16, somewhere around there. You're going to want to get a rod stand, obviously. You got the dual stand here, which holds 2 rods. Very nice rod stand. Very cheap price. Go ahead and equip that. And you've got a lot of options for bottom rods. Or, you know what? What did I even say? What I meant was feeder rods. Now, feeder rods go up to 8 pounds, which is what you want. Now you could. Alright guys, so here's the here's the rod setups that I've gone with. I've got the all-round 11 10-inch creek rod. Got the Prima 2000 reel. I'm running 8-pound mono. Got a 1 3/4 ounce sinker, and I'm using a fluoro leader, 7.9 pounds. Now I've got the size 6 hooks. I'm using small minnows, and I got the X high sensitivity simple bill. The rod's gonna be in feeder rods. It's going to be unlocked at level 14 right here. 11 foot 10 inches, 3400. As for the reels, Perma 2000 right here, it's 5400. I went with this reel because it has a fast recovery. In case the fish ever start swimming towards you, you don't want to lose them. You want to keep that line tension strong. That's why I went with that. Now, most of this gear unlocks at around level 14. As for line, got the 8-pound, unlocks at level 14, 150 yards. What was next here? Sinkers. Alright, so the sinkers, one of the first few sinkers you unlock here, 1 3/4 ounce. Now, if you wanted, you could put a heavier one on. That would allow you to cast farther. But I went with the 1 3/4 just to be safe. I didn't have to worry about my tackle being too heavy. And if you ever wanted to switch to shiners or something, you'd probably want to go with a lighter sinker because shiners are a heavy bait. As for the leader, it can be found in the floral leader section of lines, unlocks level 14. And then the bell. Now, bells are weird, but if you look closely, common bells right here. Unlocks level 14. That's the setup. Now, you don't need 2 rods right away. I recommend, obviously, you get that 2 rod stand. Now, I started off with 1 when I started walleye fishing, but eventually I came to 2, and then eventually I came to 3. And at this stage, you probably want to buy a better reel to fit that 8-pound mono on. Your rod can already support it, and then you just need the 8-pound line, and that way it'll be a lot easier to rip those walleyes in, make money a lot faster. So I'm going to go to Emerald Lake now. I'm going to fish the night bite, and I will show you guys how these rod setup works. Okay, so I've went ahead and I've skipped to the night bite. I'm at 9 p.m. And what I'm going to do is throw my rods anywhere between 140 feet and 170. Now you want to get to that deep water that's out here. I have a couple markers set. You want to get to that deep water, that's where the walleyes are. You can catch them in the shallow water as well, it works. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can efficiently catch these walleye. I'm going to cast right to this marker that I've set. I'll show you the coordinates for that in a moment. Let me just go ahead and get my rods out there. So this marker is at around 160, 170 feet. It will take a minute to get these fish in. That's no big deal. You're going to be catching a lot of walleye using this technique. And as you can see, I already have a bite. Let me go ahead and reel him in. This could be a trophy walleye. We're going to catch a lot of walleyes with these rod setups. They will pay themselves off fairly quickly. These rod setups are probably around 10,000, 8,000 for each one, plus the rod stand. You're looking at about $17,000 of investment. I promise you it's worth it. There you go, trophy walleye, 3.5 pounds, 470 bucks right off the bat. I'll go ahead and show you guys the marker. So I'm using this one. It is 64.91, negative 54.07. I caught it on small minnows. And that's pretty much the fishing with the Creek Pro. I'll fish for a little while here, and I'll show you guys how these rods are doing, just to show you that it is worth it to buy these rods. I've already got another fish on. You're going to catch them pretty consistently. You might get dry spells just a little bit here and there, but for the most part, if you've got 2 rods in the water and you're casting a narrow spoon, you know, a black or purple one, depending if it's raining or not, for the night bite, you're going to be catching a lot of walleye. 3 rods is almost too much to keep up with. Sometimes I just like to relax, throw my rods in the water, and wait for a bite. that's pretty much it for this Emerald Lake guide. Hope you guys have found this useful. That's really all I gotta say. I'll get back to you when I've fished for a little bit. Alright guys, so I've been fishing for a little bit. Not too much. Long enough to catch about 5 fish or so. I've only got the 2 creek rods in the water. It's just hit 10. And I've got almost 2,000 so far. Caught 6 walleye. All on the creek rods. I just want to show you this method works. I used it when I was a low level and I highly recommend it to you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial that I've made on catching walleye at Emerald Lake, and good luck fishing.